Well, would you look at that? The obvious thing happened. 2 female prisoners at New Jersey Correction Facility pregnant after having sex with transgender inmates. Nuh-uh, those are trans inmates are real inmates. Haven't we seen that on Twitter yet or some shit like that? I'd imagine it's probably a Reddit thread that's out there. 2 female inmates in New Jersey's all-woman prison facility have fallen pregnant after having consensual sex with transgender inmates, officials have said. I can't believe we've got to this point, but you could totally see this happening off in the distance as soon as they decided that you can identify with whatever gender you want, and that's where we're going to put you. Obviously. Fucking obviously. So what happens to the kid? So it's not like there aren't 2 degenerates already away. Okay, they're already serving time. So there's 2 lives ruined. So theoretically, this kid gets brought to term, okay? And that the mother, without a dick, delivers the kid if they haven't served their sentence yet, okay? Does that kid get put into foster care? Do they immediately become property of the state? These are new problems that shouldn't have to be addressed because these weird fucking situations should never come to fruition to begin with. But here we are. We've arrived. The identified pregnant woman has... Oh, the unidentified pregnant women, are incarcerated at Edna Mahan Correctional Facility in Clinton. All right, which houses 27 prisoners who identify as transgender and more than 800 women in total. Huh. They fell pregnant. What happened? They fell down on a fucking female dick and they immediately became pregnant? What happened? After engaging in consensual sexual relations with another woman. So how did they get pregnant? How did 2 females fuck each other and then somebody ended up pregnant? Just wondering what kind of a fucking disaster case this offspring is going to be. Oh my god. Dan Sperazza, the State Department of Corrections external, well, to be fair, isn't this an internal affairs? Oh, anyways, external affairs executive director told NJ.com. Sperazza said officials are investigating the matter. Well, we kind of know what happened, or at least we can deduce it. While the Department of Corrections cannot comment on the specific disciplinary or housing decisions that may be considered in light of these events. Yeah, I don't know, how about housing people with penises in one facility and the people with uteruses in another facility? Got it good, since you understood. No, that's a transgenderism. The department always reserves all operations to ensure the health and safety of individuals in its custody. Individuals, right? They're not men, they're not women, they're not inmates, they're individuals. Edna Mahan began to house prisoners who identify as transgender women in 2021 under the New Jersey policy enacted, which allows prisoners to be housed in accordance with their preferred gender identity. That's nice that we take into considerations the choices and desires of convicted felons. Nothing wrong with that at all. As opposed to their sex. Not sex assigned at birth, okay? Just their sex. What sex they are. Policy change was a part of a settlement by the American Civil Liberties Union of New Jersey. Somebody burned down the ACLU. And attorney Robert Geely of Glucath Walleran, whatever, LLP, who sued the New Jersey Department of Corrections and its officers in August of 2019 on behalf of a trans woman. Again, why are we taking into considerations the thoughts and feelings of a fucking felon, regardless of how fucked up their heads really are? Plaintiffs in the lawsuit, who went by pseudonyms, again, it's probably whatever the fuck they identified with that day, so you can't really nail them down specifically, alleged that they had faced harassment and abuse when denied gender-appropriate clothing, among others, when they had been incarcerated in male prisons over the years despite identifying as female. What's the difference? Aren't they the same fucking orange jumpsuits for everybody? Like, what's the difference, okay? One has a dick hole in the front. Great. Women can still wear those jumpsuits. I don't get it. It just sounds like somebody's complaining for the sake of complaining. Even though you theoretically committed some sort of a heinous crime, you can still pull the victim card. I have other solutions to this problem, but we are on public platforms after all. The policy also applies to trans women inmates who have yet to undergo gender reassignment surgery. Obviously, because if they had already, taken the Audi to any surgery, we wouldn't be having this discussion right now. At the time, Chris Carden, a public information officer for the Department of Corrections, told NBC News that while the department did have existing processes in place, the policy outlined in the settlement is an update to those processes. Cool. Carden said that anybody incarcerated under New Jersey Department of Corrections would be able at any time to provide officers with information regarding their identity. Cool. So are you going to believe somebody who's like, okay, cool, I know I'm on death row, but I'm a woman now, so I'm just going to go ahead and go over to this facility. And then a couple of days later, actually, you know what, I'm a man, so I'm going to go over to the other facility. Okay, I identify as a 68 Pontiac. What do you do with that? You incarcerate them in the parking lot. What are we doing here? Because gender identity is a fucking fictional terminology brought by, and I'm pretty sure that this one is still pinned on my channel proper. It was brought into the public lexicon by that fucking butcher, Dr. James Mooney. Is Mooney for sure. Fucking fictitious name or fictitious terminology that has no scientific basis. But idiots still fucking champion it, okay? From public office all the way down to just the dregs of Reddit. Oh, well, let's get through the rest of this. So they said that the DOC would take careful measures to ensure that they are properly housed in line with their gender identity and their housing preferences while ensuring both the safety and security of the institution. Really looks like you accomplished what you were setting out to do. However, the gender identity policy had been criticized by prisoners who would get pregnant, including 2 inmates incarcerated at Edna Mahan Correctional Facility who in 2021 filed a lawsuit seeking for the policy to be revoked, alleging they had been harassed by transgender prisoners. Yep, with fully functioning dicks. Which is like, okay, I understand these people are being put away for various different crimes. Okay, maybe it's murder, maybe it's shoplifting, maybe it's grand theft robbery or some shit like that. Various different shades of heinous crimes. Or maybe this is a white collar. Well, it is after a couple of those trannies got done with them, but it's just simple fraud cases. Let's just say something like that. Okay, they have been convicted and they're serving their time. Okay, they're paying their debt to society. They don't deserve to have other crimes committed against them, okay? I jest and I joke about how sometimes some fucking map apologists and some pedos should probably, you know what, hey, just save everybody the cot space but that's just me talking, okay? I don't write these policies and shit. Or how I'll like to joke about the, what's her name, Leah Thompson there, just beating the brakes off of those broads in the swimming pool. That's just me talking, okay? I think it's hilarious, and just accelerationism is just the best way that we're going to go about approaching exposing these terrible policies for what exactly they are to the largest amount of people, because there's no way to just fucking walk this back, because these idiots who put these policies in place are never going to admit they're retarded and stupid and don't fucking adhere to real life, because social conventions don't adhere to reality. Plain and fucking simple. Now you're going to have some, well, unless somebody, or I guess 2 people in this correctional facility don't get a visit from Dr. Scholes, you're going to have 2 or more kids out here in the world who are going to have some sort of a fucked up existence depending on what hormones are running through people's bodies, okay? Or they're just going to become fucking property of the state, which is a whole host of issues from there. It's like, what do you do with this? Maybe it also exposes the fact that nobody ever thought through these policies that thoroughly, because this was obviously something that was going to happen, okay? Like, they're handing out condoms in fucking women's correctional facilities in California. Maybe they should have been doing the same in New Jersey, but again, is that really stopping anything? Obviously. Case in point, fucking nothing to do with this. Trying to tell inmates to wrap their feminine penis. Oh my god, this world. Send the asteroid. The union representing correctional officers at Edna Mahan has criticized the policy. Yeah, no shit. They oppose the policy change, believing it would be detrimental to the general population of female inmates being housed at Edna Mahan, and also bring added stress to the correctional police officers assigned to this institution. Yeah, exactly, because it adds a whole host of problems that shouldn't be there, because you have a bunch of fucking dimwits enacting these policies trying to think that, oh, we're the good people, we're the good liberals who are out there. We're just trying to make the world a nice, better place. It's just truly abysmal, depending on, well, all of this stuff too, because, okay, in fairness, let's just play this out. It's like, okay, cool. The two women who are pregnant right now, okay, in 9 months' time, they've served their sentences, they can go out and they can live their life. They give birth to some kind of fucking mutant kid who's like, eventually you're gonna have to have the conversation that, yep, you were conceived while I was doing a stint upstate with somebody else also doing time in the female correctional facility. And then you raise them as a single mother, or however you want to identify that day. It's like, that's going to be a whole host of problems in and of itself. Or again, what do you do with the kid if these two mothers have to continue to serve their sentences? The kid becomes property of the state, until which time either the mother or the father serve their time in the clink. Or here's something else I can totally see happening as well. The mother gets early released because she became pregnant. That might have been the entire point of trying this to begin with, try to set a precedent out there, because Lord only knows where we're going after this, but this is a situation where we find ourselves right now having to deal with problems that should have never come up to begin with. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.